What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Late Great Game Reviews. I'm Apollo. This week I'm reviewing Lego Marvel Superheroes. Terrific game developed by TT Games. Came out late last year. Super awesome game. I'm really in. This is the first time I've ever played a Lego game. And I'm hooked. Like I want to play. I want to go back and play the other ones. And I know there's like Batman 3, Lego Batman 3 coming out soon. Totally gonna check that out. But as for Lego Marvel Superheroes, as I said, terrific game. Um, Super simple plot. Bad guys are doing bad things. You have to stop them. And when I say you, I mean so many characters from the Marvel universe. As a big comic fan myself, it's just so cool to see all these characters cross over from the Avengers like Captain America, Iron Man, Thor to the X-Men, Jean Grey, Cyclops, Iceman, Wolverine, to Spider-Man, to all these terrific characters and heroes and villains. The way they all interact, the heroes and the villains, it's terrific. The way they interact, the quippy dialogue, the just lightheartedness all throughout the game. The references that Nick Fury makes about Samuel L. Jackson movies, it's all so great, and to see all these characters their stories intertwine, and for them to take on this huge task together, and just engage in these awesome battles together. It's really like a playable, spectacular comic book crossover event. It's that cool. The production value is top notch. It looks really good. The game looks really good. It's got a great soundtrack. You have some terrific boss battles. It's never too challenging because this is a game meant for all ages. But that's okay because it really, like, for instance, there's a heart there in terms of your life bar. There are hearts. So if you lose all your hearts, you die. You quote unquote die. Of course, you don't really ever die. As soon as you lose all your hearts, any character you are, you'll respawn in 1 to 2 seconds. So it's not like you ever die. I can understand how that might be, a bit frustrating for some gamers, or not necessarily frustrating, but it might be like a bit of a letdown. But this isn't a hardcore game. This is a game that at its root is meant to be fun. And it is. It really is fun. There are so many different cool environments. The main campaign is about 12 to 15 hours. Took me that long, and it never lets up. It gets better and better from start to finish. You have terrific environments throughout, really cool levels. Each one feels fresh and new every time, so you never feel bored or like going through the levels is a chore, because it is a long game, and a lot of games have that problem. But I mean, from the super shiny Asgard to a supervillain filled prison to a symbiote infested Oscorp. I mean, there's so many different cool levels. It kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts in the way that there's all these great characters that we know from the Marvel universe, in these worlds that we know from the movies and the comics and the cartoons, and now you get to play through them each individually, and it's just not all of them, but I mean a lot of them, and it's really cool. And of course, everything there are so many destructible environments because everything's Lego, and it's really cool. So you can like there's even a mechanic where you break certain things, and you can construct things out of those broken Legos. You can construct cannons and different things to let you get through the environments, and it's really cool. There's also a ton of replay value with this game. Because after you're finished with each level, any character that you unlock, and some of them you have to purchase with the Lego studs that you find throughout the world, throughout the game. Any character that you basically unlock and purchase, you can go back and do a free play through any of the levels you've already completed in the campaign, and access levels that can only be accessed by certain characters. Like Wolverine, there are certain areas where you have to dig, where only Wolverine's claws can dig. There are certain areas that only the Thing or Hulk can break because they're super strong. There are certain areas, there are vents where only Mr. Fantastic can go through because he's elastic. So I mean, there's a ton of replay value. Not to mention that there's a great open world. It's not very big, but it's the open world of Manhattan. And there's a ton of stuff to do, a ton. Not only are there a plethora of collectibles like Deadpool's red bricks. Yes, Deadpool is here, and he is awesome, constantly breaking the fourth wall as we know him to do. Awesome. But there are his red bricks, which do unlock if you get enough. If you collect enough red bricks and you have enough Lego studs, you can actually unlock certain abilities like times 2, times 4, times 6 studs. Meaning, if you collect Lego studs, which they're the currency of the game, basically, then it has a multiplier that multiplies it by that number. There are also things like extra costumes and other things that you can unlock. There's a bunch of different skins for all the characters. But yeah, there are tons of side missions. In the open world. There are tons of side missions. There are characters to meet and find and unlock. There are vehicles to purchase. There are races to compete in. And all of it's infused with the same terrific humor. That's just throughout the game. It's a thread throughout the game, and there's so much to do. There's just so much. There are some glitches here and there. Some of the flying characters. Flight definitely isn't a science in this game. It's a little bit. It's not exactly as refined as I would have liked it to be. So if you're Human Torch or you're Iron Man or you're Thor, it's not difficult to fly, but it's not exact. It can be more than occasionally somewhat difficult to steer. Also, the AI, it can be really useless sometimes. You can play this co-op. You can play this by yourself, or you can play this local co-op. And if you play by yourself, you can switch between any of the characters on screen at will, or any of the. And if you play it in free roam or free play, then you can actually switch between any characters that you've unlocked and or purchased. So it's pretty cool. You can basically, whether you're alone or you're playing with a buddy, you can always have access to basically every character, which is really, really cool. But yeah, I mentioned the glitches, I mentioned the flight, but there's also the AI can be very useless. Sometimes they just sit there and let you get pummeled to death, to quote unquote death. You know, yeah, there's not too many bad things to say, and honestly, those are all minor gripes. Um, but it can get a little frustrating. But never game breaking, and it really never deters from the overall experience. The game is awesome. Um, I'm looking forward to playing a lot of the other Lego games that I have my eye on, and yeah, I mean that's Lego Marvel Superheroes. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This has been Late Great Game Reviews. I'm Apollo. I will see you guys and girls next week.